Happy Sunday. In this video, what we're gonna do is yap. I'm a certified yapper, y'all. No, so what I'm gonna do is go over some numbers for my husband and I moving. Okay, we created a life account. We're gonna talk about all of that, and then we're also gonna go over our goals. Okay, I have this 2025 bingo card. If you're interested, it's on paperbymmo.com. It's $1. Okay, she's cute. She's simple. It's empty, so you guys can modify and put in what you need to put in. But we're going to go over some of these goals and how I'm trying to get there. So if you're interested, make sure you stay tuned. But more importantly, make sure you hit that subscribe button because one of my goals for the first quarter of 2025 is to get 5,500 YouTube subscribers. We are so close, and I'm so grateful for all my budgeties that has clicked that subscribe button and who watch my content. Stay tuned. And let the yap begin. So, if you don't know, this is my little cute notebook. Okay, she's a cutie patootie. I might have got her at TJ Maxx or maybe Michael's or maybe Ross. You know what I'm saying? The three, the the triad, if you will. One of those. I love them. So I currently no longer shopping at TJ Maxx or Marshalls, but Ross is my friend right now. So just a little notebook for me to write in. I'm a writer, okay? Not like an author, but a writer. I love pen to paper. So this is my thing. In this notebook, I just 2024 financial goals at a glance. Okay, monthly. These are like videos I'm gonna do, different life accounts, student loan progress, all the things. So we're gonna go ahead and do our. We're gonna start with. That's what I should say. We're gonna go ahead and start with our pivoting. So let's give the backstory, you guys. So back in October, unfortunately, my husband was laid off from his job. Boo. No, I don't even want to boo you guys because I really feel like, life comes at you in strides, and sometimes some things, a lot of things, but not all things, okay, are just God sent. Sometimes you got to pivot, and that has been my word, me and my husband's word lately. We are pivoting, okay? So him losing his job was probably a pivotal moment for us, so we can pivot. You see how I did that there, okay? But he was given a severance plan, which was of 3 months. So he was let go or laid off at the end of October. So it was November, December, January. That was the 3-month plan, and he would get his paycheck per usual, except for his commission, okay? Because he was on salary and he had commission. From there, now we're in February and life is getting real. No, but we were able to save his numbers, and that's what you're gonna see here. Okay. That's 2025 at a glance. And we'll come back to this because we got to talk about some things. Ooh, not my prayer list. Not y'all looking at my prayer list. Can't share that with everybody. Okay. Okay, so here we are. If you don't know, I'm a Pilot girl, okay? I love a Pilot pen. This is Pilot Precise V7 rolling ball pen. She writes nice. I write hard. So it might be leaning, okay? She might be swerving a little bit. All right. So what I'm going to do is call this pivot okay. So let's Pivot. Bam. That's pretty. Okay. So this is our pivoting plan. So basically what we did was we said, hey, life is getting real. I, as in I make enough money that we can live off of and then some. So we'll live off of my paycheck and we'll save all of your, what is it called? Severance paychecks. So he was getting about $1,500 per check. So he was getting paid bi-weekly. So 2 in November, 2 in December, and 3 in January, except the last one in January was only for 1 week and not 2 weeks. I hope that makes some sense because they paid him based off of a 4, 8, 12. I think it was 13-week plan or 11-week plan. Yeah, they paid him based off of 11 weeks. They didn't give him full 3 months. So long story short, because the story can be long, what we ended up doing, maybe we should do a different color or not. What do we think? Let's do a different color. Okay, so we got a pink and then we have a green, but this one is in G2. But it's still pilot, okay? She's still pilot. So what we ended up doing was actually save. The number we ended up saving was $17,205.80. Yay! Okay, so let's talk about it. So this was more than what my husband actually brought in. I was able to save. We were able to live off of my paycheck, but also my paycheck was able to save some money as well. That's number one. Number two, high yield savings accounts are your friend. Okay. We were getting about $50 per month just for having our money in that savings accounts. Y'all, it's tax season, okay? So just understand that is taxable income. But as long as the outcome is income, that is the point in life. So $17,205.80 is what we were able to save, which is really good. I was so grateful. I cried just because that was like a light in the darkness a little bit. You know, somebody loses their job, their income, their way of living. It's sad. It's depressing, if you will. So I'm grateful about this, y'all. Grateful. We're gonna get into the expenses, okay? Because this is important. And why am I doing the expenses in green? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So first things first, if you don't know, we do currently live in Louisiana. We are moving to a new state. I have not released that state yet. I'll tell you when we get there, okay? Because I'm an artist and I'm sensitive. No. I'm sorry. I'm cybersecurity and I'm sensitive about my location. That's the truth of the matter. But the current place we live, our lease, it was $1,608. They went up $15 because life was lifing. I don't know. And not just for us, for everybody. Mind you, our lease wasn't even up. So they just gave everybody a notice on their door. Trust me, I saw it. I talked to some neighbors and everybody went up $50. They did not give a ding dang dong. Okay. As long as they give us 30 days, I read my lease. It's legal, whatever. So we were still in our lease. However, our lease is up this year, but we have quite a few months. And you're probably wondering, well, why are you guys like getting out of your lease, all of the things? Well, I got a job. I got a new job offer. So we were like, we just rather go ahead and move. Okay. So in order to get out our lease where we currently live, we had to pay a 1 month lease note, or 1 month lease note, 1 month of rent, because the way I said that was kind of crazy. So 1 month note of rent, and we took that from the life account because, and I should say life here because I'm going to call this life account and you guys are going to be like, what is she talking about? Okay. We took this from the life account because this was a part of us switching and transitioning our life, aka pivoting. So that's $1,623 that we had to give them. Now we also had to give them March's rent, but if you don't know, what we do regularly is every month we give half. We save half of the rent to afford the whole rent for the next month. I hope that makes some sense, right? So if it's 1623, let's just do some math. Divided by 2, that's $811.50. Well, I like to round up, so it would have been 812 times 2. That would have been 1624. Put that in our bill paying account, and that's how we do that. Long story short, we paid the rent. So we paid the rent for February, and then we had to give an extra month of rent, and that's okay. Get out our lease. We took it out of our savings for pivoting. I'm also going to go down some other payments, but I'm also going to start talking about my job and why I left my job, okay, or leaving, because it hasn't happened yet, and am leaving my job. Okay, so first things first, your girl is 29, okay? Yes, she's young, she's succulent. I'm just talking, y'all. No, but I've been in my career field since after grad school, so that's been 5 years. I graduated in 2019, and we're in 2025. I have a master's degree, and I have great on-the-job training, okay? I have been able to chit-chat with my coworkers, and I have found out that what I make is not what they're making. Ooh, okay? I find out these men are making way more than me with far less. Now, do we know this to be a thing, especially as women, and especially in tech or engineering? Yes. Hate that for me. But to know how much different it is, it just wasn't sitting with my soul. I previously went ahead and chit chatted with my supervisor. And what I got from my supervisor was, oh my gosh, you're young, okay? You have ample amount of time to make a certain amount of money. Don't rush yourself. And I say, excuse me? Oh. But instead I smile and I say, oh, okay. Because I'm not gonna argue, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is that gonna get me? I'm not an arguer. I'm not gonna argue about it. Instead, I'm gonna make some action. This conversation I have been having since April of last year. So I had been applying for jobs since about May. So my birthday was also in May. So I was June, July, August, September, October, November. November is when I officially got my first offer letter from the new job. I know you're like, girl, that's a long time ago. In February, I was telling them like, hey, we gotta move and we gotta do things. I need some time. That was the one, right? And then the two was the new job. November, December, everybody's on vacation. These people, these high ups, these execs, they are taking their time with their family. So it took some time. What am I getting at with the 6 months? Because I keep telling my husband this. I'm like, hey, I even read this online, a few articles. It takes about 6 months for you to be able to get a new job. So that gives me hope for him, and I hope that gives him hope for him. So yeah, I basically was told that, you're young and you can, and if you just stay at this current job, this is my supervisor's spiel. If you just stay at this current job, you can be here for a long time and you can make very, very good money. Just don't be too greedy. And I know you guys have seen, if you haven't, I hope you see it. I should post something right about here where I'm just showing you my evolution of my salary. And again, I'm so grateful. But also, I started off very low for someone who had their master's degree, when most of my colleagues don't even have a bachelor's degree, which is okay. Especially when you're in tech and cyber and in engineering, you can have certifications and all these other things, and you can have job experience. But I also realized when I start working my job, a lot of people don't know stuff. A lot of people just do not know anything. And that for me was depressing. Am I skipping this line? Yeah. That for me was a little depressing because I'm like, oh, you guys are getting paid $50,000 more than me and you don't know anything and I have to help you and you have to ask me a question. I hate that for me. So between that, as well as my supervisor was getting me into a new field, which was software assurance or software engineering, which is basically coding all the time, which is okay. But also it's not my career field and that's not what I was hired to do. And specifically people in software assurance or software engineering make way more than me, and I'm doing the work and I get paid for the work. Yeah, I couldn't do that. Which is why, I went ahead and applied somewhere else. So if you feel like you're not being just, or your due diligence, or you're not getting paid what you deserve, first of all, have some sense of camaraderie with employees, right? Not too friendly, because your employees or colleagues are not your friends. However, you do need to suss it out a little bit. I am the queen of, oh my gosh, me too. No, I don't get paid that much. February, I suck at spelling. Like they're like, oh my God, I get 150,000. And I say, oh my gosh, me too. No, not me too. I don't have that much money. But it's good to have a conversation and get a realization. It's a little manipulative, I gotta be honest. However, I needed to know, get in there and needed to know what the numbers were looking like, because why am I not getting this same thing? I don't like that. I don't know. Anyways, so that's one of the reasons, or that's a couple of the reasons why I'm trying to leave my job. And I kind of was not pleased with my job all along. And then my husband got laid off from his job. And then we were just like, hey, why are we even in Louisiana? We don't have any family. We came here because of work. His job transferred him, so I got my job to transfer me. And we have been having the time of our lives in New Orleans. We have. But with the car insurance being expensive, the crime, all the things, we gotta go somewhere where we at least have some type of family, okay? All right, now let's get into, because I'm a yapper. I actually gotta get into the numbers. Okay, so we pay $1,623 to get out of our lease. That is an extra months of rent. Now the new place for our lease application for my husband and myself included, it ended up costing us $75. We got approved. Yay! Okay. Then from there, we had to get a down deposit, okay? Okay, let's put negative. So the down deposited is crazy. The down deposited deposited. The down deposit. Why do I keep saying it like that? Well, ended up being $813. This right here ended up being half months of one rent. So we times that by two. Our rent is 1626. So freaking good, especially when you find out where we're living and how expensive the price is or the cost of living is. So grateful. It is an older apartment, as is where we are now. We have white appliances. I know a lot of people do not like that, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. And anyways, this is temporary for us. Eventually, one day, we want to own something. But right now, the stars are not aligned. Okay, so that was $813, and then here, just want to make sure she is right. Okay, so 1 month of rent is 1626. However, we don't move in until March. However, we had to go ahead and pay for some of February to be able to get the apartment. So a lot of apartments, they're like, hey, you're not going to just hold on to us for a long time while we could be getting rent from somebody else. So, okay, 1 month of rent, 1626. Then we're moving in actually in February, or our start date is in February, just because they said we can hold it, which, okay, you know, do what you got to do. So the actual amount is going to be 1916.36. So that's $290.36 for like, I think 5 or 6 days in February that we're supposed to be moving in, or that we're supposed to be there. I let them know, hey, we're not going to be there. We'll pay it because this is quite a steal of an apartment, safe, community, all the things, old, but hey, we want it. So this amount is, like I said, $1,916 and then 36 cents. Now, we have not given them this money yet because they want a cashier's check. Was it a cashier's check? I think it was a cashier's check. So we actually have to go to the state, in which we're not in, and give it to them in person. So there's that. Now, also, another expense is moving truck, because we will be driving. Which I'm kind of scared, but you know, so I have a car, my husband has a car, and then the moving truck. So the moving truck, we're gonna have a family member that's gonna be able to drive one of our cars for us. So that's gonna be one car down, and then the moving truck. And so then you're wondering, okay, so that's one car down. You go have a car, he has a car, and the moving truck. That's 3 people that should be driving. So what we're gonna do is get my car and put it on like a little trailer thing, hitch, glitch, whatever, on the back. Okay, so that way when we're in the moving truck, we'll have it as well. Woo, okay. So let me tell you, moving trucks are not that cheap. They're especially not cheap when you're going halfway across the country. I keep saying halfway because I feel like Louisiana is kind of a little bit in the half mark. Okay, so whether if we're going to the west, or we're going to the east, or we're going up north, it's just, we're in the middle. You know, we have a ways to drive regardless. Anyways, I'm talking about moving truck expensive. But what we find out, and my husband found out actually, was that his uncle, he has a really big family, works for a moving company. So what we're having to pay for the moving truck, and I just want you guys to know, this number is crazy, but the moving truck companies, all of them, we've gotten quotes, are charging double this. Okay, $928.38. So double this. This is, my gosh, $1,856.76. So then we're going to divide that by 2, and that is the number that we have. So let's do a little minus. And so we have 928.38. Okay, so this is what we have thus far. These are all our expenses. One thing we know for sure we're also going to do is include on here a Ring doorbell. We do not have one. But where we currently live, we kind of been having some problems. Do I want to call it problems? Let's just call it problems. We just been having, it's actually been a while now. I haven't spoken about it on YouTube, but we have some neighbors that are kind of abusive to each other, not to us, but to abusive to each other, which is abusive to our environment, because the way they yell, they scream. I mean, there's been police. It's been a lot, to the point where I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't feel safe. It's domestic, okay? It's domestic violence. But I say all that to say, I definitely pray for them, for one, but also we want to get some type of safety for the home. It's just I don't know. It don't sit right with my spirit. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. My husband isn't either. We always talk about it, but we never do it. Obviously, we didn't have any urgency to do it, and especially because I was home a lot. Everything that was happening, I was the ring doorbell. Okay, this is the old school ring doorbell. You look out the peephole, and that was me. I'm looking out the peephole. But also, I don't want to be around because when police come, they like to ask questions, and it just gets messy. And I don't want any targets on my back. It doesn't matter because we're moving. But what I'm trying to say is, this has definitely heightened my sense of security. So ring doorbell definitely is necessary. Now let's get into the numbers. Okay. So $17,205.80. Thank you, God, that we were able to save that. Real quick. So I was telling you guys about 6 months about for possibly getting a job. So end of October, we'll start with November, December, January, February, March, April. 6 months would be April. For my husband, the stereotypical amount of time for him to get back in a salary job. However, he is doing little, my therapist told me not to call them odd jobs, but he is doing he's doing jobs that aren't salary or in his career field to make some type of income. So, that was well stated. Thank you. I tried. Okay. So $17,205.80 is what we started. And then we're going to subtract $1,623. That's 1 month of rent to get out the lease. Then we're going to subtract $75 for our lease applications. And then we're going to subtract $813. That is our down deposit. And oh my gosh, when we get that back, that's because where we live right now in the South, I don't know, you tell me how yours goes, but we've been paying like $200-$300 for a down deposit. It hasn't been that much. So, do what you want to do. I'm excited to just get it back. So 1 month rent plus February, even though we're not going to be living there in February, it's going to be $1,916.36. So now we're at $12,778.44. Then we're going to subtract $928.38. So now we're at $11,000. This is how much we have in our account. Maybe not 11,800, but we have 11,000 something in our account. $11,850.06. And then we're going to subtract 100. So that's $11,750.06. Now, my husband and I's goal, and I don't know, I'm ambitious. Okay. So I got an ambitious man now too. I've just got to be honest, is to have 10,000 outside of it. Like, let that 7,000 be what we spent and let it be just that. But, and I say that to say, because $750 is still quite a bit, a lot, but we do have to pay, starting stuff. So you got to start electricity, you got to start your internet, you got to start your water. They always give you like a little fee. So we discussed where would we take it. It would probably be from the pivot account. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that we at least have $10,000 left. And you're like, what are you going to do with the $10,000? Now we're moving into our next conversation. We would be putting it towards our house account. Okay. Grateful for this. Let me pull out the house. Okay. We will be putting $10,000 to our house account. We do want to, let's on here. Can you guys see this? Yeah. So on here, 50,000 YouTube subscribers. You see that? Ambitious. This one. Save $50,000 for our house down deposit. So we started off with $10,000 because a grandmother gave it to us for our wedding, our nuptials, if you will. So we decided to save that and put it towards house deposit, or home ownership, whatever. However, we really wasn't putting too much towards it. Now, lately we added, if you combine, I think we have $12,000 in there. So no, I don't think, I know we have $12,150.47. Let's be specific. So let's do some math. 50,000. Okay, minus 12,001. Okay, 50,000 minus $12,150.47. That's going to be $37,849.53. And then subtract 10,000. Where am I getting 10,000 from? If and when. Okay, you see that? If and when we're able to get out of the pivot, we already are. We're living where we need to live. All the things. Let's just say we'll have another 10,000. That will only be $27,849.53. Now, something else, but I don't want to share it for sure until I have it in my hand. But the new job is supposed to be given just some money to move. So we will see. They told us they told me that they have to have a lease to say that we're already there, and a bill, two things to prove that we actually already live there, and then they will give some type of money or whatever. Now that comes with a contract to stay with the job for 1 year, which I don't really think is that bad, but here we are. Okay, but $27,849.53 if we're able to actually save 10,000 from Pivot. So let's see what life is life in like. I do feel like stuff happens for different reasons in our lives, and we just gotta go with the flow. I don't know. I'm gonna cry though. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm a crier. I'm going to cry, but I'm gonna go with the flow. Okay. Now let's get into it. Okay. So this is the home account. So the goal, let's do her in green because like why not? So the goal here is gonna be $50,000. Now, I will say this because I've been doing the math. $50,000 is about 20% of 250,000. Wait, 250? Is it 20%? Whatever. It's about the down deposit you would need for 250, 275, something like that, right? Traditional for a conventional loan. Yes, you can do first time home buyer situations and you put less down. But traditionally, and I know that number isn't really high, like 250,000, but that would be what we're going for. So what I'm saying is we're not going to be going for something big and extravagant because most homes are 300 and higher, and I just don't want us to be home poor, house poor, home poor, whatever. Neither of the two. Okay, so we're gonna give this. Technically, the date is February 16th, but we're gonna just go ahead and give her. I don't know. We're gonna say 01/01/25. You're like, why? We're doing it because this technically is a yearly goal. So let's see how many lines we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we have 17 lines. That's what I'm gonna put here. 17 lines. And what does that equal? So 50,000 divided by 17, that's going to be $2,941. So each line equals 2,941. I was going to do 42, but 17 is not enough to round it up. So maybe I should put per line. Per line. Okay. So 2,941. Let's see. 2,941. So we have 12,150. 12,150.47. And we're going to divide this by $2,941. So we have 4 lines we can color. I'm excited. What are we going to do? What are we going to do, y'all? We can do purple, we can do pink, or we can do yellow. It is February, so I'm going to just do pink because, it's the month of love. And then I'm going to go ahead and also put the date to the side of it. Okay. So, oh, girl, you're tripping. That is too skinny. These are old. Somebody asked me about these a while ago. Erin Condren. When I first started budgeting and got into this community, that lady was a fad. Okay, she was a trend, whatever. It was back in 2020. And then, I don't know, I just decided I didn't want to spend as much money. I don't know. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to count this as the second line because I'm looking. This definitely gives you space right here to color. I just want you to color in the lines, girl. I saw this Instagram post that said a woman who has a coloring book is crazy and she's trying to calm down. And at first I was just like, oh, that is so rude. But then I was like, you know what? Maybe. You know what? I don't know. Because my therapist says the best thing you can do is get a coloring book to just clear your mind and clear your nerves. So maybe they're on to something. Another thing is, I will say this. My student loans, that has always been the first goal previously to the financial freedom journey because I want to get out of debt. My gosh. But also I'm realizing how restrictive it is because a lot of your money is leaving you. You don't have any, maybe you do have money for a save the day or like a bad day or a rainy day. However, it's restrictive, and if something happens and you need the money, the first thing I think is like, dang, I wish I wouldn't have spent that money on X, Y, and Z. I'm just being honest. I'm saying the quiet part out loud because, but I still want to pay my student loan debt off. And realistically, I would like to not be in more debt before I've gotten rid of one debt, because that's depressing. But I just know that we can have multiple goals at one time. And with student loan debt being so high, at least mine and my husband's combined, you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. Okay, so that's 2 lines. And then we're going to do 2 more because we said 4. So 3 and 4, which, we're not doing bad in life over here. But sometimes stuff happens and you just feel like, dang, why me? Life sucks. And then you just see it from the grand perspective of like, dang, it's really not that bad. And I'm gonna tell you guys this: being Paper by Mo and having this channel and the community, for sure, you guys speak life into me. Most times, don't get me wrong, but there are sometimes those few people that are like, girl, get over yourself. You make 6 figures. Life can never be that hard. And like sometimes YouTube will just remove their comments. I promise you guys, I don't delete people's comments unless, like, actually, I don't think I've ever really deleted anybody's comments. But sometimes if you have a curse word or something, it'll just automatically flag you, even if it's a you mean well. So I say all that to say, a lot of times nobody gets to see, but I get the notification. I see that somebody said something crazy, and I'm just like, dang. Okay. Another conversation is the high income earner. I'm told constantly that I'm a high income earner. Maybe I'm just like confused. I think I get people's perspective. If somebody makes more than you, and you think that, wow, 6 figures is the high income, then yes. And I'm grateful, but I also realize that technically when it comes to taxes, high income earners are considered those who make like 200, 400,000, which, I'm not complaining about, because I'm trying to be one of those people. But I say all this to say, everything is perspective. How bad you think you're doing in life. It's just about how you look at it. It's how you look out the window. It's how you look at the glass. Is it half empty? Is it half full? Because I could be like, oh my gosh, my glass is half empty. My husband doesn't have a job, right? He just got laid off. But also, like, maybe not. Like, we're gonna go somewhere else and something else is gonna happen. We have enough money to save. All the things. Like, I don't know. I'm being a little preachy, but I'm just saying. Sometimes you gotta be a little preachy out here. Okay. I'm gonna put February 2025. Am I gonna write it like this? I think I am. I'm gonna put February 2025. Okay. So then the next month, which will be March, which will be perfect for green. We'll see how much we're able to actually save for our home account. But I hope it's gonna be enough and be well. And if and or when we're done moving, we will definitely probably include the money that's left over from our pivot account or our life account to here, and it'll be for the next month. So it'll be March. I think the end of March. I'll go ahead and update this, and it'll be grand. I'm so excited. One more thing I do want to update. Okay, so the one more thing is the money. Okay, so I told you guys that I am trying to do better. My husband and we are trying to do better because lately coffee has been a friend of mine, or is it not a friend? I don't know. Are you friend or are you foe? So for food, we try to spend $200 for each paycheck. Let me pull out the paycheck so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so food 200, so that's 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 1. So 40, 60, 80, 100, 200. So this is $200. Okay, that's for food. And then so we have $60, 20, 40, 60. My husband and I are gonna have to split it, but it's for his fun and my fun. Gas we do on a card because, like Sam's Club, Costco, whomever, they usually, I know Sam's Club would only take your card, but I don't know about Costco yet. So I have to look into it, because if I find out that Costco takes cash, we're definitely giving it cash. But this is for our fun money. It's gonna be 30 for him, 30 for me. And then for our food, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2. This is gonna be great because I feel like I won't be able to spend cash too much once like on coffee if I don't have the cash. If I don't have the money, we're not spending it. And that's just how I feel. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was kind of a yapper and it was a little different than what I usually do. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you guys in another video. Bye.